hitting the tire, right? We often see videos of law enforcement attacking a perp with a collapsible baton, and the impact doesn't really do anything. I mean, it's a shorter, compact weapon, and when you couple it with fear strikes, where you're not really getting that proper zing to your power stroke, couple that with adrenaline, and you have a mix that, you know, you've seen officers in other countries that hit 10, 12, 15 times and nothing happens to the client. So, I mean, that's another reason why it's important to continually hit things instead of just swinging at air. I mean, you have elements when you hit a tire like recoil, where, I mean, you see it countless times, even guys that have 20 years experience go hit the tire and the stick comes back and hits them in the head. You have reverberation impact, where if your forearms aren't developed enough and you haven't practiced hitting things, that reverberation can catch you off guard and start nullifying your power as you keep hitting. So, I mean, those are things that a tire gives you some kind of feedback, at least, on that. So if you're hitting it, those are two things at least to be aware of, among many others. Not playing the patty cake thing, where we're trying to do, you see the multi-strike thing that we often see in the FMA that takes the place of power development. That patty cake thing, where too many people focus on Sinawali and Redonda and a lot of these other two-stick drills, and don't really utilize them in any kind of competent, functional manner. So you'll see that when they do that, and you'll see it transfer to the single stick when you're hitting the tire, the strikes are kind of soft and weak. So, I mean, think about it in a different way. If we're really utilizing a length weapon, the point of impact is this part here, right? It's the tip. It's the last third of the stick. The rest should be in the motion of what we call elastic recoil, where it should be in that chain that results in hitting with the maximum impact of force, like a whip. So it's that last point where you're hitting, right? And you can feel that, and you can see that these sticks are kind of frayed because of that impact. And that's a byproduct of hitting things. I mean, if you want your sticks to last forever, then yeah, I mean, by all means, do the patty cake thing, hit air. But if you're not actually hitting things, you're lacking a major element. If you're not cutting things with your blades that you plan on carrying, you're lacking a major element in functionability and how you utilize your tools. You're not intimately familiar with those tools. So, I mean, this is a stick. This isn't a collapsible baton. But even when we're hitting the tire, practice it slow, right? What are those proper mechanics? Do them slow motion. Where is that power generated, and how are we generating it, right? There's that impact. Backhand, right? Uppercut. I want that feel that every time I hit that target, there's heavy weight coming down and there's hard impact. I'm getting the biggest bang for my buck, which is important. Can you start doing combos faster over time? Yeah, change the arc. Once you get used to the recoil and the reverberation and things like that, you can start utilizing footwork for doubles, triples, and you want that pounding impact that, you know, when you hit something, you're going to put it down. I don't want to go into some kind of scenario with a tool and go, I really don't know what this tool is capable of and how my usage is with it. Is it sufficient? I mean, I know when I hit somebody with a stick, when I have hit them before, they've gone down, or they've felt it, or they've intimated by body language that it hurt. And while we have to be careful with our training partners, the tool is an extremely valuable element that way, right? Different. Uppercut, rear, right? Downward. Angle. I want every hit to be impactful and have purpose and have mental substance behind it, that I know why I'm doing it and I have every right to do it. That's why context is so important. We can change the other hand and go, oh, okay, I'm left. It's not my strength, but how are we hitting? Am I mirroring what I'm doing with my right? Right? We can use various grips. If your left is really weak in the beginning, use reinforcements. Right? Develop that power slowly and feel. How's my kinetic impact? How's my ballistic delivery where I'm not telegraphing? Right? Is my impact hitting the target and continuing on? Or am I getting into that pushing mentality that takes so much power away when we hit something of impact? Right? And you can only learn that when you're actually hitting things. So after a while, that left should be pretty solid as well. Right? So if just with a hit of this little rattan stick can get that tire moving like that, you know that you're generating some semblance of power. I'm not going to ramble on about this. To me, this is a fundamental basic skill that people in weapons arts should be doing, but far too often we don't for whatever reason, because of systemic protocol or preference or art or whatever the case may be. But if you're utilizing tools in a functional sense that you have a very real possibility of utilizing, it's really important to hit and cut and smack things with them and get that feel. A knife or a sharp tool brings different kind of things within that dynamic. Knives and machetes and swords all have a different kind of feel. And if you're not test cutting or test hitting with them, you're lacking a very intimate familiarity with your tools. So we'll leave it at that. I just wanted to do a short video on that impact training. Any input? Let me know.